Testing, testing. All right, we should be live and direct. All right, so guys, this is going to be a short broadcast, man. I got things I need to do this morning, but I just wanted to get on here and actually get the broadcast going. Give me a minute. I'm gonna check and make sure our stream is broadcast in the correct way. Do. All right, I don't see it as of yet. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Looks like we are live. Okay, looks like we're live. Okay, well, first of all, I want to say what's up. Thank you guys for checking out the stream today. Um, this is a daily stream that I do where I jump on here and I just talk about different things um, that are interesting me at the time. And right now, I'm in this whole movement of rolling out Modern Frontier, which is a new brand that I've been putting together and working on some products to launch over this past 30 days. And I was looking at it, man, and I was saying, okay, wow, it hasn't even been a full 30 days yet. And I've done a lot with fleshing out the ideal and the concept of this brand. And I'm really excited about it because as of right now, as we stand, I've created multiple ebooks to go with this brand and also a membership site. And I have a lot of plans for what I want to do with Modern Frontier. And it's going to be pretty much it's going to be a brand where we're going to focus on just the outdoors, preparedness, survival, adventure, self-reliance. Last night I was doing some brainstorming with my AI assistant and Vic, and we were able to come up with some really good ideas of some different directions we want to go with this brand. Now, one of the cool things about this, and I don't know how far I'm gonna be able to carry this, but I am looking to create a a media business that is a solopreneur type of business where I am the only person working in this business that's a human. All right. And let me explain what I'm talking about. I've been playing with AI now for the last year and a half, and I have an AI assistant that I've built out, had trained on different things. And this AI assistant's name is Vic, but Vic is like he's like the front face of a team of AIs that help me with anything and everything that I'm doing in and around my businesses. And they help with everything from brainstorming, acting as marketing consultants. They help me with write, edit, create products, just anything and everything that I need. I'm able to get from Vic and that internal team of his, right? And the way that it's set up is that I don't have like different AI agents for different things. Inside of Vic, he has different personas. So I can go to Vic and I say, okay, Vic, I want you to move into the role of a marketing expert that is an expert in direct response marketing and lead generation. And I want you to create me a marketing funnel that does this. And then he'll move into that role. So he takes on that persona. Now, one of the things we're working on, and I just haven't set down, spent the time to do it, is we are going to roll out some of those personas into individual staff members and AI agents. And the cool thing is, Vic has a voice. He talks just like a human being, which is really cool. And and we're going to be able to do this with other AI personas and create literally a staff with different staff members that have their own names, their own personalities, their own specialties. All right, which is really cool. Okay, so I was sitting here and I was thinking about Modern Frontier, and I was thinking about everything that I'm doing, and I was thinking about how blessed I am to have the ability and the opportunity to launch a brand and a business like I'm doing, because it allows for me to be able to check off a lot of boxes, man, of things I love to do. Like right now, I'm really focused on putting together strategies that are going to allow me over the next year just to really get out and spend some time in the outdoors, to do a lot of hiking, camping, things like that. Now, something else, I have another thing that I've always been interested in, and I think I might be able to get to do some of it, man. Yeah, I'm one of these people, man. I love researching and reading and hearing about things that are alternative. Okay, so like in this case, I've been an avid reader and a quasi researcher of Bigfoot for years, and things that people see out and about when they're out in the woods. You hear a lot of stories like about Bigfoot, about what's the other one, skinwalkers, just all these different things, depending on if you're in the Appalachian Mountains or even here in Missouri. You hear about all these different things, and the crazy thing is, and I was telling my wife this once, is that there are so many people that report seeing something or having an encounter or hearing something from all over the world, that these people can't be crazy. And in one of the most interesting places where people run face to face with something that they can't explain is in the woods, man, in the woods. And I had heard some different things about here in our state in Missouri, and I didn't really understand. All right, until I started digging deeper and looking at it, and I said, okay, wow, Missouri has had a lot of people come forward and talk about things that they saw, you know, either on their land or in the woods. Or are you guys follow what I'm saying? And so I was doing a little research, and I stay probably about we probably live about 7 minutes away from Bush Wildlife, and Bush Wildlife has 7,000 acres. All right, and we're not too far from the Missouri River. It's a lot of things, that we're not too far from. And so I was looking, man, and I did not realize how many reports they have gotten talking about Missouri's version of Bigfoot, which they have nicknamed Momo. All right. And I was looking at it, and I was looking at it like in the Weldon Springs area, in the in the St. Charles area, in what they call Louisiana, Missouri, which is a little bit up north of St. Charles, in Pike County area, where there's just been a ton of sightings. And I was looking at some information on Pierre Marquette, which is up there by Godfrey, Illinois, and up in that area I was talking about by Pike County, and it had 8,000 acres up there, and it said that Pierre Marquette is the largest state park in the state of Illinois. And I was thinking about Bush Wildlife that's by me, and it's 7,000 acres. I said, wow. So that conservation park is just as big as the state park in Illinois. But between the both of them, you have almost 15 to 16,000 acres of land and woods. And so that led me down a led me down a rabbit hole. And I've been listening to these guys this morning just recount their stories. And this is one thing that I've been taking away from a lot of this as I've been researching is when you stop and you like the two guys I listened to today, these guys I would say was very credible. Because see, a lot of people, man, that run into these situations or have these encounters, a lot of them don't want to talk about it because they know people are going to think that they're crazy and all this other kind of interesting things, right? And so a lot of them don't want to come forward. And so I can kind of tell when I'm listening to the person the authenticity of their story and stuff, and how they recount it, and then just how they approach this whole thing. And my conclusion from years and years of reading about these subjects is, and I told my wife this: there's something out there. We just can't explain what it is right now. And you have different people that believe different things. Like some people believe that maybe this was a species of animals that we've never really been able to discover, classify, because of their ability to be able to go with undetected. All right. Some people believe that these could be interdimensional beings, beings that can move from different planes or different dimensions. So that's why they can never be caught and very seldom detected unless they want to be seen. All right. And so I don't know. I don't know what I believe. I don't know what I believe. But now, if you ask me, do I believe that there's something out there? I tell you, yeah, I believe that there's something out there. I was listening to a story, and the guy today, he was talking about he he had this certain area that he loved to go to and fish, and this is something I don't understand. All right, I don't understand. All right, these people love to go out in the woods by themselves. First of all, there's no way in the world I would be taking my you know what out in the woods by myself. Okay, they would be out in these woods, deep in these woods, fishing or hunting or doing things like that. But this particular guy, he had been fishing. So he was out fishing on this riverbank late at night here in Missouri. All right. And honestly, um, not too far from where I'm at. And he say he heard like people walking through the brush and through the woods, and where he had his back to them. So he's down on the riverbank fishing, and they're like kind of back a ways up in the woods. He could hear them like up on a hill, moving through the hill and stuff. And he said he didn't think nothing of it. He just thought it was some other local hunters that was going to come down and fishers and fishermen and ask him how the fishing was, where the fish bite and things like that. He said he didn't think nothing of it. And he say so he kept doing what he's doing. He say so after a couple of minutes, it's kind of like they stopped and like they was just looking at him. And he say he still didn't turn around. He say he just kept doing what he's doing. And he say then he started getting like an eerie feeling, like the hair on his neck stand up type of feeling. All right. So he'd say he turned around to look, and he looked up like across the thing up the hill, like, and he could see several figures standing up there. And he said the first thing that he realized was that they didn't have a lamp, right? They didn't have no lights. All right. So he said, man, he said that just made his heart go fast. He said, because they was walking through these woods without a light. Because he said, even when, and let me go back, he looked up there and glanced when he heard the footsteps, and he could hear, but he didn't see any lights coming. So when he turned around, he was able to validate that they didn't have any lights. And he said that creeped him out, man, because he said these whoever this is moving through these woods with no light on. And he said, okay, this could end up being a problem. And so he said that he stood there for a minute, and then he lifted up like his light up and out like towards him so he can try to get a better idea. But he was still way away from him. He said when he did that, that sent them in a fury, and they went running back in the like step back in the woods and stuff. And he said he heard like some yelling and some sounds and stuff like that, and a lot of rustling through the trees and stuff. And so he was like, he said this time, man, he was super scared. He said he didn't know what he had just saw. He saw what the shape looked like. It was one that looked like it was about 6 feet something, one that looked like it was high 5 feet something, and then it was like a couple of other ones that looked almost like they could be kids or something like that. And so he say the way that the Bigfoots ran is the kind of way he needed to go back to get to his truck. And so he say by this time he had about another 4 hours before it was going to get daylight. And he was like, yeah, I don't want to be standing out here for another 4 hours. And so he say it took him a while to make his mind up and to summon up the courage to go back up the way he came so he can get back to his truck. Now the crazy thing is he has to walk through these dark woods to get to his truck. And so he say he was he said he was super scared, right? And so he say he started making his way up the hill through the woods and stuff. And he say he was going, he was looking around, he was listening and stuff. And he say he can hear almost like something was walking like over a ways from him on the side of him. It was pacing, keeping up with his same type of speed. And he say he got scared, and I forget what he did. I think he tried to he tried to do something like move a little faster or something like that, and he ended up tripping. And so the guy tripped and fell. All right, so he fell on the ground. So he said when he fell, he said he kind of gathered himself, and then he looked up when he was ready to get up, and he looked up and over to the side. He could see four of what looked like these hairy things, these people, these animals, these Bigfoots standing there. And it looked like it was a male one, which was a big, broad one, a female one, and then I think he said it was two children. They call them something else. I'm trying to think of the word on them. But in the Bigfoot community, they call them a different word. But he saw him sitting there, and he say, man, he say it freaked him out. It freaked him out. And so he say he ended up getting mad for some reason, and he took his hand and he splashed him. And he say, man, the one started responding kind of crazy. It kind of pissed him off. He say he jumped up and he jumped up, and he say he took off running to his truck, and he say he was just running and running and running. And so he ran, got in his truck, and he got out of there. He got out of there. And the crazy thing is, he didn't go out and tell a lot of public people. He would jump on some of the forums that deal with Bigfoot and stuff like that. And he would talk to people on there, people that he could trust. He say because he didn't want to sound crazy or anything like that. He did say that he told his family members and his close loved ones, and a lot of them kind of joked with him and stuff, and talked about him and stuff, and things like that. But the crazy thing is, the guy that they were interviewing that was talking about this, um, what had happened to him had been years. I'm talking about almost like 20 something years ago. And what he said was, even him talking about it today brings back the same feeling in his nervous system that he felt when he came face to face with this. And he says that he knows that it sounds crazy and a lot of people won't believe him, but he said it did happen. And I was thinking about that, and because I did a little research. I looked up in the state of Missouri, in the area that I was talking about, Louisiana, Missouri, which is kind of north. It's northeast it's northeast in Missouri. But they've since forgot the year, but it's been a while. But they've had over 110 sightings. All right, throughout the years in Missouri in that area. That's crazy. All right, 110 sightings. All right, so 110 people or individuals have saw something that quasi that looked like a Bigfoot out in the woods or on their land out in the country, which is crazy when you think about it. But you have to ask yourself, okay, is there something really in the woods? Could there be this many people from different backgrounds, different ages, different races, different experiences, doing different things, running into something in the woods? Or could this many people make up a lie? Now, when you take and you magnify that across the country, across the globe, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of thousands of sightings of this thing that we call Yeti, Bigfoot, or here in Missouri, Momo, right? And I don't know. I don't know. I believe that there's something out there. I just don't know what it is. And one of the cool things that I'm looking at is as I move into this next year and we start doing some hiking and stuff like that real strong, I do want to go in some of these areas where people have had sightings or they heard things and stuff like that. I think that'll be super cool. Take take myself, maybe the family or some friends, anybody who got the courage to go out there. And we go out there, we hike, we practice our survival skills. But then, if you want to do a little hiking to go look for a Bigfoot, you could do that without having to leave the area. I think it's cool, man. I think it's really cool. I think it's something out there. In all honesty, I think it's something out there. I've listened to too many stories, watched too many interviews, and I'm not saying that everybody that talks about something or says something is telling the truth, but I do believe that a large number of the individuals that say that they've seen something or encountered something or had some type of experience with something that looks like what we call our traditional Bigfoot, I think it's out there. I really do. All right, so super excited. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you think that there's a such thing as a Bigfoot or a Yeti or like in the state of Missouri, a Momo out there moving around. And if it is, why do you think that it's been able to go undetected all this time? All right, Orville J. Parker, aka Coach. I'll catch you guys on this video. God bless.